chill.
Don't chill for 7 years though and sit on an album for 7 years.
I'll be up late, commentating on a massacre. I'll be up late.
Check it. So I'm Amos.
Hooper Stax.
And we're bringing Commentating on a Massacre. I got into Cypress Hill was like the first act I proper got into. Hip hop wise, for sure. Yeah. What about you, man?
It's funny because it's the same thing, isn't it? It's Temples of Boom, mate.
Yeah.
Temples of Boom was just like that crossover, really.
Yeah.
Getting into the hip hop scene, because I was big into Prodigy and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it had that kind of sound, that trip hop sound that I liked.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cypress Hill were like proper popular with skaters and shit as well, innit?
Yeah, it was that. It was the whole smoking music scene, skating scene.
Definitely, yeah. Well, I'll answer that first. Lyrically on Commentating on a Massacre, it's isolated, I suppose, the lyrics, because I wrote most of it on a farm in Australia and also in a meditation hall in Cambodia. And the meditation hall was a pretty interesting thing because I was like going to these daily meditation sessions and like locking in on some fucking cross-legged shit, do you know what I mean? But penning bars in my head. So then what I'd do is I'd run back to where, my living quarters after the meditation and then scramble and write it all down because I'd worked it out. Do you know what I mean? So like the pattern of the lyrics on it is done in a way that was easy for me to kind of keep rehearsing in my head.
But it very much was in your head, wasn't it? 'Cause like you say, a lot of it was when you were in that camp.
Yeah, so I was in my own head for sure, yeah. Some of the particular lyrics in it are hinting at that. Like there's a tune on the album called Bullet Blink Dagger Stare, and that's about the monk who was running the meditation sessions, because I swear he was just giving me daggers, you know what I mean? He kept staring at me like, I know you're not fucking meditating, you're up to something. Do you know what I mean?
Scheming in your head.
Yeah, he didn't know what I was doing, but, so yeah, Mr. Bullet Blink Dagger Stare is about a monk. I can't remember his name, but fucking salute to him, big him up.
Well, obviously, I mean, I'm a hip-hop producer, so a lot of it's 99% sampled off records. It's all sampled off records. And then it's all just hardware, really. Try not to listen to a lot of other music nowadays, to be fair. Just because a lot of the production's gone the other way, a lot of it's too technical, and it's just a lot of it's digital now. So, I mean, I'm very old school. It's all done on hardware and stuff, so it's a bit different. But I mean, I'm trying to capture that 90s sound, so I don't really need to listen to anything too update, really. It's just trying to recapture what I got into.
Yeah, I reckon you've definitely done that on this album as well, innit? Like, tell us a bit about the beats you made on this album. What did you use?
Well, I just got the SP for that, hadn't I?
Okay, sick.
Spent a lifetime trying to get an SP, got it, did this album with it, and then it stopped working, so I haven't been able to go back to that style of production, really. Because obviously the SP is a very different sound to your MPCs and stuff. But again, it was really overproduced. Like, it wasn't just capturing that 12-bit essence. I was going a step beyond that. I was resampling it into the MPCs, building up sample banks, and then making tracks from that. So it was quite a lengthy process, actually, making the beats.
Well, we've been sat on this album for 5 or 6 years.
7 years ago, it was as soon as he came back from India.
Yeah, no, it was Australia. I recorded these verses in 2013/early 14. So that's pretty astonishing, isn't it? Really, like, and all the tracks have had various different forms as well, which I suppose is a question in itself. Like, when do you decide something's finished? Do you know what I mean? Like, because I've done the lyrics, I know that they're done, but how do you reach that point? Obviously, 6-7 years later.
Prince.
Oh man, fuck knows. Good question. Probably Alchemist, I reckon. Yeah, man, he's sick as fuck.
I don't know whether I could answer that properly. I don't know who I'd really want to collaborate with.
I'd fucking eat up a load of Alchemist beats, mate. So hit us up, Alan. and let me fucking do that shit.
For me, music's more of a connection thing, so I like to do it with people that I know, because that's part of the process, really. Not big into working with people that I don't know, because it's you're on different journeys, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes.
How would you describe this album to someone who's never heard it?
It's like, it's a bit of a cross between some of the albums that really inspire. I mean, I really wanted to go down the production route of that RJD2 sound, that really soulful hip-hop sound, and then, you know, intersperse it with a bit of instrumental.
Yeah.
And just mixing it up in that way, really. I mean, we've always tried to make albums, haven't we?
Yeah, for sure.
With a theme, you know, we've always had set themes and ideas.
Theme, yeah.
And I mean, this one was that conspiracy, mystery, espionage sort of sound.
Shouts to Lewis Parker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, all day long.
You know, you just take inspiration from everywhere, don't you? And then you have to reinterpret it in your own style and sound, really. And that's what me and him have always done.
Yeah.
We've always done very different sounding approaches, and this one is probably one of the more traditional hip-hop.
Yeah, I'd say you're right there, definitely.
Albums and EPs, because it's a two-parter.
Yeah.
So
Commentating on a Massacre, Waterproof Briefcase. Check that shit out. On this album, good question. I'll let you answer first.
Me? I do like that Poltergeist Guide and Bunny Hopscotch. For me, like, production-wise and lyric, you know, content.
Yeah.
They're just there. It's that sound that I like. For me,
I can see that.
Just because for me it showcases good production.
Yeah.
You know, it's not necessarily traditional beats, but you know, it's that soulful hip hop. So
yeah. I think one of my favourite tunes on there is Cobweb Shadows. I just really like the sort of vibe of it. And also Rock Ape Stone Age was one of the last tracks we did, but I think we caught a vibe on that. It's quite edgy delivery, innit? And it sort of goes in, it slots in nicely in the middle of the track listing.
I mean, Drama's a good track.
Yeah, shouts to Peanuts, innit? Shouts to DJ Peanuts all day. Good DJ, but a whack rapper, Peanuts, innit? But yeah, shouts to Sai as well, the skint DJ all day long.
Opium Waterfall.
Really, yeah?
We recorded 3 versions of that.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I can't remember that.
Two, I think we did 2 vocal versions that I wasn't happy with, and then it was the beat that I wasn't happy with, so I went back to the beat, sorted the drums out, and we got it a 3rd time.
Yeah. I've been going over the tracks again to get ready to perform them live. And actually, Barbed Wire Bunny Hopscotch, the first track, is the hardest one for me now. It's 3 verses and a hook, and I just seem to really struggle with it.
And it was 7 years ago.
And it was 7 years ago, of course.
So.
But some of the other tracks, though, and the other lyrics, I can just remember quite easily. So yeah, it's funny how it goes. But I'd say Barbed Wire is the hardest one now, post-production.
Chill.
Don't chill for 7 years, though, and sit on an album for 7 years.
Take your time, you know.
Yeah.
Good things come to those that wait.
Fair.
I'm getting into this Taoist way of thinking, aren't we?
Fair.
Yeah. Nature takes its course, mate. You can't force nature. They can't. It's an enigma.
No, it'll be on Northern Structure Bandcamp.
It'll be on the Bandcamp. It's probably not going to have a physical release, sadly.
Yeah.
What's Spotify?
Yeah, we don't really fuck with that. Maybe we should, but maybe that's a cue for us to get a Spotify sorted.
It's getting this dope video made by...
Yeah, shouts to ES Visuals, mate.
Dope video makers. Yeah, we're chuffed about that.
Yeah, for real.
I'll be up late, commentating on a massacre. I'll be up late, commentating.